Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Got my co-host over here, Juno. That's my girl. That's my girl. It's Saturday, and we're getting ready to do a little video on how I polish my knives if they have a little bit of patina on them or something like that when I receive them. Just to clean them up, just to even out the finish on them. I got a request for this today about the Spartans, about the new limited edition Spartans. And I just want to show you real quick. I'm keeping my Spartans. You want to come here, sweetie? You want to come say hello? You look like you want to come up here. Huh? What you think? Let me move this off the table first. Too much stuff on the table? You want to come say hello? You just want to sit there right there? Oh, okay. That's my girl. That's my girl. Juno's doing awesome. She's awesome. I think she's healed. Whatever was giving her some issues, I think she's over it now. There she goes. She's totally healed now. She's looking good. Following me around everywhere I go. Always wanting to play. Always wanting Grandpa's attention. That's my girl. That's my girl. Looking good. Looking good. For all of you that didn't know, Juno was sick for a little bit. And I was really worried. And I did a lot of research. And I found that carnivorous pets like cats and dogs, you got to give them raw meat every once in a while. At least once or twice a week or whatever. Because they need the enzymes and the amino acids and things that get cooked out of them when they make cat food or dog food. And cat and dog food is full of fillers. So it doesn't really have all that much protein in it. And that's what they really need. They're not vegetarians. They're meat eaters. And as soon as I did that, she got well. She got well. She got well like right away. So that's what I'm going to continue to do from now on. She gets fish, chicken, and beef. Fresh fish, chicken, and beef. Raw fish, chicken, and beef. I'll alternate them though, so she doesn't have to eat the same thing all the time, because Gina doesn't like to eat the same thing all the time. But anyway, that's what we're doing, huh, Juno? It's not just wet food and dry food no more, huh? You get like a smorgasbord of food. You're so spoiled. You are so spoiled. You're probably the most spoiled kitty cat on the planet. You're definitely an aristocat. You're an aristocat. That's my girl. Okay, let's do our video, sweetie. Let Grandpa do this video. But this is the box that my new one came in yesterday. And it was a big box for for one, so I decided to use it for 3. That's how I'm keeping all my boxes now, because as you all know, I told you yesterday, my safe is full. I don't have any more rolls yet, so I'm going to keep them like this for now. And this one is the one that's in my pocket. It's number 2108, 2108. That's the one we're going to do a little work on today. Let me show you what I did. This one's number 41. Number 41. That one's never been used. That's my lowest number. I bought these when the first sale I ever saw on them was at Midway, and they were going for $199. And normally they were like 3 something, and Midway brought it down to $199, so I jumped on it. I thought it was a good deal. Number 41, that's why I got the low numbers. So I still think it was a good deal because you can't get numbers like that now. So it was a good deal. And this was the other one that I carried, 148, but I took it completely apart, I cleaned it all out. I brought it back to, basically, like it was when it was brand new. And I boxed it up. I'm not going to use it no more. Now it's a collector. But this one's the user. This one's going to be my user. And I figured that, that the reason why they were going for $99 because they're probably on their last 1,000 knives that they had, or on the last numbers of the knives, because I think they top out at 3,000. And so this is 2,108. That's how I'm going to keep them. That's how I keep the boxes and stuff like that. I need to get another safe. That's what I need to do. And when you guys hear me saying safe, my safe is not like a what do you call it? Like a safe that's made to hold money and stuff. It's a gun safe. It's a steel gun safe with a bunch of locks on it and stuff like that. And it's bolted to my closet and everything. So that's how I keep this stuff. I just need to get another one. They're not super expensive either. But I need to get another one because, well, we were robbed not too long ago. Well, it was a long time ago now. It was like in 2009. And I had my rifles and everything all stolen from me. So the gun safe, I only have like one long gun now. And I have a bunch of handguns and stuff like that, but only one long gun. And so now I fill it up with the knife rolls. So I use it for knife storage. I would like to get one more rifle though, but I only have a Remington 870 shotgun that I've modified, a tactical shotgun. I'm a shotgun person. I grew up using shotguns and stuff. Grew up using rifles and stuff too, but shotguns were always my favorites because we used to bird hunt and everything like that. My Remington 870 is a Magnum that I can convert back into, a regular hunting shotgun if I need to use it for hunting or anything like that too. So it's got like a dual purpose. But when I'm not hunting, it's a home defense weapon. I like shotguns better for home defense weapons than, let's say, a AR-15 or something like that, or any kind of rifle, because rifle rounds will shoot through a house. Maybe shoot into your neighbor's house and hit an innocent person or something like that if you don't hit your intended target. And late at night, or something like that, when something's most likely to happen, I'd rather have a shotgun where it's just going to go may damage a wall or something, but it's not going to go like through the house and all that kind of stuff. All right, sweetie. Well, anyway, that's enough discussion about that. Let's get into our knives. What we're going to do. You feeling good now? You just want to be all over the place. This is the one I purchased. I received yesterday. We're going to talk about what we're going to do. You got to come down now, though, sweetie, because we're going to do some buffing and stuff. Okay? All right, kiddo. And this is how I take care of that. I'm not trying to refinish it or whatever, but yesterday when I received mine, it was a little bit cloudy. You can't really see it now because I polished most of it off. But you got to be real careful about the markings if you don't want to mess up the markings. And I'll show you how I do that. And I'm not using buffing compound. I'm using gun oil, Miltech 1 gun oil, because I'm not trying to remove markings or really even polish it. I just wanted to get off the. I don't know what it was. It looked like it could have been from the markings, like a dust or something from the markings or something like that, because it wasn't rust. And what I did here, I should probably do it exactly the way I do it. Let me get a cloth. Let me do it the way I do it, because I take apart the knife completely, because I don't want to accidentally buff the handle or anything like that. So I always take things all the way apart, separate the blade from the handle. So we'll do it the exact same way I do it, so you guys will see exactly what I do. Where's the T6? The T6. Yeah. T6 and T10 is what you need. And see, when you don't torque these things down, they're easy to take apart. And you don't strip out any screws or damage anything. I'm always against torquing down screws on knives. It's not necessary. If you want to put it down permanently, just put a little blue Loctite on it. It won't come loose. Just torque it down, not torque it down, but tighten it up, finger tight. And if you don't want it to, if you're not the type of person that's going to be taking apart your knives all the time like I do and pull maintenance on them all the time. So I like to pull mine apart and clean them just like I do guns. And re-grease them and everything else like that. That's what I do. Because I always find that these things work better when they're lubed, as opposed to trying to run them dry and stuff like that. They work better when they're lubed. I know a lot of people don't like to use grease and stuff because they say, it attracts dust and stuff. But if you're like me and you clean your things all the time, that's not a big deal. And I sort of enjoy taking them apart and cleaning them, just like I do with my guns. It's sort of relaxing to me. Therapeutic or relaxing, whatever you want to call it. It's not a hassle for me. I enjoy doing it. But anyway, take a little bit of oil. You don't need that much, just about that much to work for both sides. And this also ends up making your knife a little bit smoother too. Smoother operating. Because you see what I'm talking about? Because I do the tang and everything. And this is a way that you can coat your blades really well so they won't rust. Militech 1 really prevents rust. I'm sure other lithium oils would do the same thing, but I've always used Militech 1 because I've always liked the results I get out of it. And when you heat it up, like what we're going to do right now, and you polish it into the blade, it really puts a protective coating on the blade. That's what I've found. All right, so here we go. And you always want to polish with the grain. And like on the sides with the letters and numbers on them, I'm going to put my thumb over it like that, so I don't even, touch those. That's all you gotta do. This side was the side that was bad on mine. The side without the signature. Just cover up the cold steel label. Like to polish the tang too, make it, if there is any kind of burrs on the tang, you'll take them off. And smooth them out. And that's it for that one. I'll take this one off, wipe it down, and use a clean polishing one. Wipe off the blade. Doesn't take a whole lot. I'm not trying to put a high shine on it or anything. I'm just trying to take off the little discoloration that was on the blade, so I can even out the color on the blade. Sort of looked like it could have been like a little bit of patina or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but they clean up really nice. Put this back over here so I don't lose my parts. Put a clean pad on it, or cleaner, should I say. All my pads are a little bit dirty. Need to get some new ones. Now this one doesn't have any abrasives on it, so I can polish over the labels a little bit without damaging the labels. Go at a slower speed. Now this is just to even out the finish. Stay away from the edge of the blade though. You don't want to get caught on the edge of the blade. Just like that. Polish the swedge, or buff the swedge that way. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. Now take a cleaner towel. If you still have a little bit of the discoloring or whatever, don't worry about it. It's okay. I just like to get the majority of it off. It's not rust or anything. It's not something you have to worry about. It's just more of an appearance thing. I notice that often I get blades that have that on them, especially from cold steel. So I don't know if it's like when they put the labeling on the blades. I don't know how they do the laser etching. I don't know if that leaves like a powder film or something like that on the blade. That's what I sort of think it might be, because it comes off real easy. But I would not use like buffing compounds or anything like that. Just use some oil. And, I use lithium-based oil because That's why I've always been told it's best for, like guns and knives. So I always like to use lithium base oil. And just buff it into the blade a little bit and it cleans it out. That's all you have to do. Let me see if I can hold this up without putting fingerprints on it. And there's the outcome. Now, when I want to polish something and make it shiny, that's why I use buffing compounds. But when you use that, you'll take off the markings and stuff also. Because buffing compounds are abrasive. It's like a real fine wet sandpaper or something like that. But it will remove like markings and stuff. If not removing it, it'll fade them out. And that's not what I'm trying to do here. My goal is just to clean the blade. And that's how I do that, people. For those of you that were asking me, I had one person ask me about it. And I told him I would make this video for him. Now this knife has already been lubed and everything, so I don't need to re-lube it or anything. Oh, and I took the torsion spring. Let me show you this one. Take this part apart. I took the torsion spring out of my the one that I had been carrying, the 148, and put the new one in that one and used the old one that I've been using because I noticed that the paint and finish is starting to wear off a little bit. That's why I always put a little coat of grease and oil on these too. Because I'm not sure if these are stainless steel or if they're like a carbon steel leaf spring or a torsion spring. So I don't want it to rust or whatever, prevent, I want to, try to keep the corrosion off of it. So that's why I always lubricate them. You can see how mine's all lubricated. That's the way I like them. That's how they operate the smoothest. That's what I found. If you like your stuff to operate super smooth, don't be afraid to use some oil and lube on them. Sure, it will attract, lint and stuff like that, but you just clean it. Just clean it when it gets really, when it starts to get too bad or whatever, just clean it. The lint doesn't damage it. It just needs to be cleaned off. Just like with a handgun or a rifle or something, you got to clean off the carbon. Same difference. That's the way I sort of think of it. Teflon washer goes against the blade steel. Your bronze phosphor washer. I swapped the washers out too. These are the original washers from the other one too. Because I wanted to put all the new parts in the internal parts in the other one. That's going to become a collector. And just fit everything back together. These are very well made knives too. The construction quality of them is really good. These new Spartans. I'd like to see them turn these into a production knife. A regular production knife rather than being like a limited, like they did with the crisp blades and the original. When I'm saying the crisp blades, I'm talking about the Twilight 6. When they first came out with the crisp blades, those were limited edition Thompson knives. Then later on, they turned them into a regular production knife. I thought that was a smart move. I think they ought to do the same thing with these too. Have these be like the high-end version of the Spartan. I think that's what would be smart to do. So now I'm going to re-Loctite this. Even though I haven't been letting it sit like I always tell you guys to do, I've been playing with it, people. I've been playing with it a lot. I've been playing with it a lot. I really probably shouldn't even bother to Loctite because I know I'm going to continue to play with it. But this is what I always like to do too, is put Loctite on them. Now it's supposedly supposed to let it sit for like 2 days. But I couldn't do that. I was weak. I was weak. I like this one a lot better too because it's lighter. It's lighter than the original one. My other 3 Spartans that I have, they're a lot heavier. No blade movement side to side. Look at that. Perfectly centered. Reverse finger flick. Thumb flick. This one's gotten fidgety already, people. It's probably because I got a lot of the old spring in it and the old washers in it. They're already sort of broken in, pre-broken in. But once you get these broken in, they fly. They work really well. Excellent knife. Excellent knife, people. I looked again today. They're still on sale too. At least they're saying that they're available. I don't know if that means that they have them or they're going to have some more or what, but they still say available. So to me, that means that you can still buy one. That's my user. That's my user. Absolutely love it. Highly, highly, highly recommend these. If you haven't gotten one yet and you've been thinking about it, I'd say go get one before they're gone. Because the sale's not going to last forever. They've already sold a lot of these because I can tell by the numbers that you guys are reporting to me. The first numbers were like in the 600s and now they're in the 2000s. This one's 2108. Because I think Dirty Bird said that he got one that was like 608 or 603 or something like that. And then he bought another one that was 2001-09. This is 108, so he got one right after I got this one. So it's awesome. These are awesome blades, people. These are really awesome blades. And I would say get one to collect and get one to carry if you want to carry a really good self-defense folder. I don't think there's, in this size range, I think this is probably the best self-defense folder with, when you're talking about like a 4 to 4.5 inch blade, I would say this one's the best. I like this one better than any other ones I know of in my collection that are in this size range. And I like it way better than the old version because the old version's heavy. The old one I think weighed like 9 ounces, over 9 ounces. This one's right around 7 ounces. Let me see. Let me weigh it out. You gotta get down, kiddo. You gotta get down. Grandpa gotta do this, bring out the scale. And let me see what we got here. 7.7 ounces. I think the original one is like 9 point something ounces, which is, kind of too heavy for this size of a knife for me. And the blade thickness on these is awesome too, because it's just as thick as a 4-max or a SR1. It's got the same blade thickness as a 4-max or an SR1. So it's like a no BS blade, people. It's not. This is the real deal. Blade thickness, we zeroed out there. That's 455, 456, 4.5 millimeters. No, down here, let's go get the thickest part of the blade. 4.76, 4.8 millimeters. That's the same thickness as a in the tip. Gets down to 1.1 millimeter at the tip, which is still pretty thick for a tip. In here, 3.5 millimeters, where it narrows down on the switch. And the Copa style blade is older than the kukri. I know people call these kukris all the time. This is not a kukri, this is a Copa style. It was inspired by the Copa style, the Spartans, the 300. That blade, which is like, it exists at like 2000, was it 2000 BC or something? It's like a really old blade. And the Nepalese knife came around after BC, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So this is older than the Nepal knife, the style of blade. And, you know, probably the Nepal knife was made, you know, got the idea to make that shape of blade from the Copas. But this is a knife that the Greeks had back in the day. You know, the same shape of blade. And they had handles like this too, where it totally, you know, hold your hand in place, where you couldn't lose your grip in combat. So it is like a pocket Copas. That's what I would call it. It's an excellent rendition of what a pocket Copas should look like. One that you can carry every day as a self-defense EDC folder, SDU EDC, self-defense utility EDC folder. It's not too big that, you know, most people can carry these, and like where I live is slightly over the legal limit of 4 inches, but I would carry it anyway because it's not like really over the legal limit. I think most people would look at this and you can probably say it's a 4-inch blade. Let me see. The edge. The edge is about 4 1/8. About 4 1/8. And if you start from actually where the cutting edge is, it's 4 inches. So, you know, technically you could probably get away with it. But if you go all the way to the handle, then it's like almost 4.5 inches. But you got about 4 inches of cutting edge. And it's like right on 4 inches too. It's not less than 4 inches, it's like 4 inches. With a 4.8 millimeter blade, 4.75 millimeter blade stock, S35VN, CPM S35VN. This is a powdered steel. Great for edge holding. With a Demco wave plate, so you can wave it out of your pocket. You don't have to go buy a wave device for it from Snaggletooth. It comes with it already. It's got the Copa style handle made out of American G10, just American G10 slabs, no liners, with a G10 backspacer. So that's how you cut down on a lot of the weight on this one. That's how they took out over 1 ounce of weight on it. Like 1.5 ounces they took out of it. And it's a contour G10 handle, so it feels really good in hand. I highly recommend these people. I think this is like the deal of the year, as far as, you know, like you know, the sales I've seen so far on knives and stuff. Because these are normally like a $300 knife. That's what they're intended to be, was like over $300. And then Midway, in the beginning, you know, because Midway always, you know, comes out with great sales and stuff. They were selling them for $199. And then for a limited amount of time, and then they went back up to like, I think they were like $249 or something like that, $239 or $249 was like their regular price. And now they're selling them for $99. But all the first ones though, they were the real low numbers. So I'm not mad that, you know, that they all of a sudden went down to $99, because these are the high numbers. The numbers aren't as collectible. You know, they're still very collectible though. You know, because there's only going to be 3,000 of these being made. The signature ones anyway. Lynn Thompson signature ones. And once those are gone, they're gone. And that's when they become collectible. The value of them will go up for people who want this knife in their collection. So I would say get one. I would say get at least one or two. I would get at least two if it was me, because I like to have one to use and one to collect. That's the way I usually like to do. But when this one came out for $99, I was assuming that was probably going to be in between the 2,000 and 3,000 range, because I figured it was like the last 1,000 of the knives. And that's usually when you start seeing sales on limited edition things, is when they get down to like the last 1,000 knives being available. If like there's 3,000 knives or 2,500 knives or whatever, because then they'll start trying to clear them out. And that's when the sales start popping up. That's my experience with watching these things and the sales and stuff like that. Excellent knife, people. If you haven't gotten one yet, I would say go out and get one. Go out and get one. And if yours got a little bit of cloudiness on it, like mine had, it wasn't like, like any severe cloudiness or anything. It wasn't rust or anything like that. It just looked like it just needed to be cleaned up a little bit. And that's the way I clean mine up. I like to use a hand drill, but you can probably use a mounted drill or whatever, a mounted buffer or whatever. But I use a drill, and I put buffing pads on it. That's the way I like to do it the best, because then I can sort of watch things closer and make sure I'm not overdoing anything or underdoing anything. It's like I can pay attention to what I'm doing a little bit better than, let's say, a table mounted one. Table mount ones are good though if you're just trying to straight up just polish a blade. But when you're trying just to touch something up or clean something up, I'd rather use the hand drill with buffing pads. All right, people. Well, that's about it for that one. What do you think, Juju? Excellent knife. Excellent knife. Look at the drop on this. Excellent knife. Excellent knife, people. Excellent knife. Highly recommend it. If you haven't gotten one, go get one. That'd be my advice. That price, for these types of materials, for a thick S35, 4.5-inch S35 VM blade, and this is American G10. This is the good G10. American G10 handle scales. I think for $99, it's a steal. I think this is literally a steal. This is like an unbelievable price for what you're getting here. And if you like self-defense folders that are in this size range, you're not going to find one better than this. This is the best, if you ask me, for this size range. And I wish that they would do the same thing with do the same treatment on the Cold Steel XL Voyager, because that's my other favorite one, and the Cold Steel XL Counterpoint. Do the G10 with the S35EN or something like that. I think that would be awesome too. And make it a limited edition or just make it a regular production knife. I don't care. I just want one made with these materials. And I think it'd be an awesome blade. The XL Counterpoint, especially since they're not making the XL Recon 1 anymore. Because they need to make a big Tonto, a big XL with the high-end materials. That's my opinion. And I love the counterpoint too. I love the bayonet blade, the military style bayonet blade. All right, people, that's it for that. I'm gonna put this one out right now. It's early in the day, Saturday. I think today is what, the 22nd? What's today's date, sweetie? Is it the 22nd today? It's Saturday the 22nd of June? Is that the date? Or July, not June. Getting ready to be August. August is coming up, huh? All right, people. Peace out. Have a great day. Stay cool. It's hot here.